Hello and welcome back to the Baltic Ultimate Club Championships, final stage of that league, so to say, where we see Tartu Ultimate from Tartu taking on Ogre Moments from Ogre. Latvia versus Estonia in this matchup, where Estonia is starting on the offense, doing pretty well so far. Veske. No, sorry, that was not Veske. That was. Not sure who that is. But there was a throwaway by Tartu Ultimate, unfortunately. That was Lasmane, Sanita Lasmane, who unfortunately threw a little bit too long for her receiver, for Terra, who could not hold on to this disc. Moments, early opportunity for a break. Kalavanova with the disc, swings to Gulbe, who finds, looking for, and finds Samiete there with the disc to Mikulice. And a scoober to Pastore, who did not manage to elevate for this disc. That was a little bit too high for her and a little bit too out of the view, maybe. That disc was coming from behind her, so it was very difficult to hold on to it, sadly. Now Tartu getting on counter attack. Terra with the disc. Swing to upline to Lasmane. Lasmane surveying her options. Now finds Raba, who also surveying an option, and a hammer to Terra. Easy reception, great read, very great vision. She put it right in front of her, so for a very, very easy reception. Good job. Very, very nice point by Tartu. They managed to compose themselves after the first break. And to hold that second point for themselves. 1-1 is the score. My name is Dmitry Doroshenko. I'm happy to bring you all of the games from this Baltic Ultimate Club Championships. I mean, I was not commentating all of the games, but still I'm happy to commentate on whatever's coming my way. That was a very interesting call. It looks like there was a contact on Gulbe, which was uncontested, and that made her drop that disc, of which she had the possession of. She had control of that disc, so that was uncontested. Disc now with Kalavanova after a few swings and uplines, and that is that was a little bit too close. Maybe should have been angled a little bit too much into the end zone, and a injury is called. I think Gulbe there has a bit of a cut on her hand from what I have seen, so she's probably going to wash it off and try to cover that up, as a open bleeding wound is not something that you would like to see. And yes, the disc was also replaced. We don't want a bloody disc in our hands, that's for sure. If you're from the UK and listening to me, don't think that I'm being rude or anything. No, just a disc with the blood on it. Meanwhile, Tartu have picked up the disc and Laura Lepik to Helen Terra. Terra is scoring 2 points in a row. Is Helen Terra going to score every point in this game? Possibly. Yeah, that can happen. I would not be surprised to see that. She is, of course, very good on the receiving end of the disc, but also can throw very creative throws. She can do it behind the disc and in the end zone as well. Disc now with Mikulica, with Ogre. Pastore threw it to Butane, who threw it to Mikulica. Unfortunately, the disc bounced off her hands. She could not hold on to it, and that is another turnover. That is another possibility for a break for Tartu. Lind picks up. This time to Lasmane, to Terra. Terra, the other side of the, from the other side of the disc, not in the end zone, but into the end zone to Lasmane. Helen Terra has 3 points of this game with her name on it, either on the receiving or a throwing end of the disc or the assists. Well done for her, well done for Tartu. 3-0 at the moment. 3 breaks. 3 breaks. Quite an unfortunate one for Ogre. Good to see Gulbe back on the field. She's going to field that pull. Yeah, she covered the cut that she had on her finger, from what I can see. And we are back on the offense. Gulbe to Kalavanova. Back to Gulbe. Surveying her options. Kalavanova goes into the end zone, and no, she's not chosen as the possible target. Lepina now with the disc to Gulbe to the far sideline. Gulbe to Kalavanova to Samiete. Now to Lepina and to Pastore, who did not touch the disc a single time. That was the first time that she touched it in this point, and that was for a score. I guess that was the conservation of energy and a possibility to score that goal, which she successfully did. 3-1, Ogre finally on the board in this match. And Tartu now starting their offense, their first offensive point. I'm pretty sure Lasmane, excuse me, to Lind, who throws it to Raba, a little too deep. She tried the greatest, but she jumped from out of bounds, so that would not count anyway, but good try to get these repetitions in and to do it properly next time there is an opportunity, of course. Now, disc with Mikulica. Ogre with a possibility to break by themselves. Finds Gulbe. Great grab by Gundega Pastore there. Who hammers it to Kalavanova. Across to the other sideline. A little bit of a pick was called on Pastore. So disc is going back to Kalavanova for stalling 4. Judging by stalling 5. Don't think that... All right. Kalavanova finds Mikulica. Marked by Linz. Mikulica to Gulbe. Finds Mikulica once again. To Pastore. Blade to Gulbe, who managed to hold on to it, and then a knife rather, to Kalavanova in the end zone. Kalavanova in the end zone. Great reception there. A very vertical disc, so to say, but she still came down with it quite successfully, so well done to her. And Ogre are coming out with their own break. They would probably want to break Tartu side a couple more times to feel a bit more comfortable in this matchup. I'm sure that Tartu will not agree to that as much. Tartu now on their offense. Nigol with a disc. Ooh, that was almost a hand block. Linz to Terra, and Terra to Lasmane for a score. (4-2). Clean hold. Looks like both of the teams have settled a little bit into their own rhythm and figured out how to deal with the offensive pressure of their opponent. But so far, doing pretty good. But of course, moments would want to try to get a break of their own. But to break, first you need to hold. And this is exactly what they are trying to do. Pastore with the disc. Heavy mark by... Ooh! Heavy mark by Terra, but managed to get it to Mikulica, and Mikulica threw it into Vesquez's hands, who just put the disc back on the ground, and now Terra with the disc, marked by Pastore. That's a great matchup. Verico. Lepik. A bit behind, and Raba tried her best to hold on to this disc. Squeaky knees, I call them, and that probably did burn a little bit. These floors and the friction, of course, can be quite hot and can create burns on the hands. Don't ask me how I know. Now Ogre with another opportunity of a hold, and Samiete miscommunication with Mikulica there, and she threw that disc away. Terra gonna check that disc in and gonna throw it into the end zone to Nigol for another score. That is 5-2. Another break by Tartu. And so far, my prediction, not prediction, but rather my somewhat rhetorical question of is Terra gonna be behind or on the receiving end of every point is staying true. She caught 2 points and threw 3 so far, so far so good for her. Linz with the pull, fielded by Mikulica to Gulbe, now to Pastore, who is looking for options, finds Gulbe on the far sideline, very close to the line, swings it to Lepine, to Kalavanova, now to Gulbe again. Who wants a scuba? Doesn't find it. Finds Mikulica, and there is an out call. A possible out call. Let's see what we see. If there was an out call, no, it is quickly retracted. And whoa, hand block, but still kept in by Lepine. That bounced off the hands. That does not count as a self-catch. So that disc was still alive. Lepine still with the disc there. Finds Pastore in the middle of the field. Kalavanova with the disc to Mikulica, who doesn't really see any open options. Finds Lepine. Back to Mikulica once again. Going a little bit backwards there. Now finds Kalavanova for an advance, and into the end zone for Pastore. That was a very unpleasant reception for her, but I would love to see the replay of that, maybe from a slightly higher angle. I would not be safe to say, like a lot of players are asking me, what did I see? I think it was a little bit close for call. I wouldn't confidently say that this was in. Not entirely sure. We've got our production team, but yeah, I think we should just ask them to come and see next time and to decide it by themselves. To me, personally, it was too close to call. I would not be comfortable of making that call, not being on that far sideline. But players have decided to call it in. So that is a score for Gundaga Pastore there. And now Tartu is coming on the offense. And very effective offense once again. Terra to Raba, if I'm right. Yes, Marin Raba with a score. So that is 6-3. Terra, every point has a name of Terra, either on the receiving end or on the throwing end so far in this game. I mean, it's good to have that kind of weapon, but then, of course, I'm sure that Tartu can also deal if she's not on the field, but I'm pretty sure she has the athleticism of staying every point during a whole tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if that would be the case, considering that they only have 2 subs on the bench, and we see an unfortunate, somewhat unforced error by Mikulica, disc bounced off her hands, and Veske. Now Terra picked up the disc, threw it back to Veske for somewhat of a super dump. The disc is back with Terra, who finds Nigol, who now finds Veske once again in the end zone. 7-3. That is a halftime, as you can hear by the obnoxiously loud buzzer. Yeah, Ogre's team have some questions to answer of themselves. They look like they have a bit of a communication problems here and there. Hopefully they will be able to clean that up, and the second half will be a little bit cleaner for them and a little bit nicer. For the moment, we'll take a break. I'll take another sip of the coffee, and we'll be back with you in a few moments. Don't go anywhere. And if you're watching us live, tell us in the chat, where are you watching from? Who are you supporting? Are there any Estonian support? I'm sure Jakob Tam is probably watching this game. And give us a like, give us a subscribe if you like what you see. Be nice to the YouTube algorithms, of course. Be nice to everyone. Just be nice. We're back in the second half of this game of the Baltic Ultimate Club Championships Indoor, or BUTSI, like people are calling it here. Bringing you the second half of Moments Ogre against Tartu Ultimate. Women's division so far, still round robin. Everyone plays everyone. The best 2 teams will be going straight to the finals for the first game. 3rd and 4th place will be going to play for the 3rd place, and the 5th place team unfortunately will not be playing anymore, so they will have 1 game less than everyone else. So far everything is open. There are still possibilities on all the sides, and Mikulica now swings to Gulbe for Ogre offense. In the second half, their first offensive point. Gulbe now with the disc in the middle, in the middle of the field. Finds Samiete. Surveying her option, finds Kalovanova, who's going to throw a blade to Pastore. This time it is a little bit cleaner and definitely in the end zone. That was nice toe drag there by Pastore. Ooh, nice, very nice. Well done by her. For another halt, another clean halt by Moments. There were not many of them, sadly, in this matchup for them. And now they need to bring up the pressure, put some offensive pressure defensive pressure, onto Tartu. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, the last point was not scored or thrown by Helen Terra. So they can do it all without her. But this is a much easier point as well. Crystal Lind to Marin Raba for an zone-to-zone point. Beautiful throw, nice read, and Raba there found herself in the acres of space in the end zone for a score. 8-4. Leske with a pull. A little bit of an air bounce on that pull. Now Kalavanova with the disc. Few short passes. Lepina to Gulba. To Butane, who finds Gulba for a bit of a scuba with a bit of a scuba. Another scuba for Lepina to Butane once again, who is on that near sideline, in a bit of a trap, and Mikulica once again. Sadly, she had quite a few mistakes in this game, but that bounced off her hands. That happened a few times before. Maybe that throw was a little bit late. She couldn't really figure out how to close her hands on it comfortably, and that is a drop, sadly. Raba on the near sideline to Lepik, who throws a very high hammer. A little bit too much mustard on that throw into the end zone, and that did not work out for them. Lepik makes a slightly unforced error, and Gulbe is picking up the disc for another opportunity for Ogre for a hold. Mikulica with the disc finds Kalavanova. Back to Mikulica in the center of the field. Butane. Arcing blade, and looks like a foul is called. I don't think that it really affected the play. I think that was coming out a little bit too far. I don't think, my personal opinion, that there was that contact did not really affect the possibility of Kalavanova to receive that disc. I would not really, I don't know, but not my decision. That is just my perspective. And it is a contested foul from Terra, so the disc will go back to the last undisputed thrower, which in our case is Ruta Butane, who finds Lepina, who finds Gulbe to Kalavanova, to Gulbe now. On the doorstep of that point, and Skuber to Mikulica, this time a lot easier, a much easier reception there. She left her defender behind her, had acres of space, but it's a difficult throw to execute, but that was done to the near perfection from Gulbe there for another assist and a score by Mikulica. Looks like we still have a power line somewhat on the field. Gulbe, Pastore, Samiete, Mikulica, and Lepina against Linz. Lasmane. Now disc with Lepik and Raba. Terra to Lasmane. Surveying her options. Doesn't really find anything. Finds Terra. Good reset. Going a little bit backwards. Lasmane still with the disc. Now with Linz. Lepik. Back to Linz. Finds Terra. Oh, a little too high. Terra is apologizing for that, but maybe that was a little bit on the Linz's side as well, throwing that a little too high, but Terra maybe misread that disc a little bit. Ogra, opportunity for a break, if I'm right. Gulbe picks it up. Now Mikulica to Samiete. Lepina with the disc. Long inside shot for Pastore. Beautiful reception there, good read and a good body awareness by Terra as well, not to create any fouls, not to create any dangerous contact over there. And great grab by Pastore. Just managed to drag that toe. Nice toe drag. Yeah, Pastore is saving her teammates there in the end zone pretty often, and it looks like a bit of a timeout is being called. Not entirely sure by which side, but it is a timeout nonetheless, so both teams will have the time to talk about their strategies, to decide what are they going to do in the next point, as it was a break for Ogre for moments. And they are getting just a little bit closer to their opponents in terms of the score. It's 8 for Tartu and 6 for Ogre in this match. Timeout is over. Teams will line up on their respective lines. And Tartu will have an opportunity for another break. Another offense, for a hold. Gulbe with the pull. Linz is going to receive that. Well, no, she will rather call a brick, as this pull was a little bit too high. Marked by Gulbe. Linz finds Raba. Raba looking for options. No cuts really, but she finds her favorite receiver in the form of Helen Terra. Unfortunately, though, disc has bounced off her hands, and she was not able to close her hands on it. She had a perfect read on it. Maybe she thought that she's deeper in that end zone where she was and was worried of going out. So jumped early, and Kalavanova, great grab there, great hands and good body awareness. And Gulbe there was a little bit behind her. So that disc just bounced off her hands and gave another opportunity for Tartu for a hold. Linz with the disc, another hammer to Terra. This time she's good for it, and maybe a little too deep, but both sides are signaling in. So she was just in. Maybe a little too far for us to see, but you can clearly see that white trainer of Terra touching the inbounds area of the field for a score. 9-6 in favor of Tartu. And that pull is a little too high from Tartu, and it is called bricked. Mikulica is going to bring that disc in to the brick mark. Swing to Butane, up the line to Samiete, and another up line to Mikulica, who is giving kisses to her good friend on and off the field, of course, Laura Samiete. And that is another clean hold for Ogre Moments. They are leading 9-7 Sorry, Tartu is leading 9-7 at the moment. Moments are trailing by a couple of points. Mikulica with the pull. They would, of course, want to try to get a couple of points back on themselves. Now, Tera to Raba. Now throws to Lepik. Oof. That was a stall 7. I heard it, and Marin Raba just on the just on the line of that sideline. Whoa. Oof. That looked a little bit painful for whoa, that looked painful for Gundega Pastore in the end zone, but that disc was dropped. It was never caught by Tartu, by the Tartu players, and Pastore now with the disc to. There was a call. There is a there is a bit of a Linz doesn't look comfortable. She is assisted by the teammates, and looks like there is a problem with her knee, as she already had the tape around it. She's she's asking for some space, but she's being helped by her teammates. That should be, the disc will stay with Lepina there, and hopefully Crystal Linz will be okay there. According to the rules, the play is dead as soon as the injury is evident or called. I think there is a bit of an ankle twist there for Linz. But we are back in play. Disc is with Mikulica, who swings it to Lepina. Surveying her options, finds Pastore. Now to possibly Kalavanova. Yes, Kalavanova had found herself in quite a lot of space. Now to Pastore, who throws a blade to Mikulica, who wasn't looking at the disc and at her thrower. That is an unfortunate miscommunication by the two players. Very, very unlucky. That is another unforced error by Ogre, and Tera there will bring the disc up to for the offense of Tartu for a possibility of a break, and that possibility is converted. That is another break for Tartu. 10-7 is the score. Unfortunately, you don't really have it on your fields, on your screens, but I will still bring it to you after every point. 10-7, we have about 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Sadly, apologies for the not working clock on your screens as well, but I will update you with the important moments of that. Butane with the disc. Moments are trying to hold. Gulbe to Mikulica. Now back to Gulbe, who finds herself on the far sideline, close to it. And Scuba, and defended by Raba, who quickly goes towards the other side to the other end zone. Tera is going to pick up the disc marked by Pastore. That's a great matchup, I think. Swing to Nigol, to Tera, who's going to blade it to Raba for another break. 11-7, if I'm correct, is the score at the moment. 25 seconds on the clock. It is very likely that the next point will decide our target to what are we going to play. So the time will run out. We will finish this point, and if Tartu is going to score, it's going to be a game to 13. If Ogre is going to score, then it's going to be a game to 12. Great grab by Pastore there. Now she finds Samiete. Finds Butane in the middle of the field. Now to Mikulica. Pastore in the red zone on the far sideline. Beautiful hammer to Linda Gulbe in the end zone. That is 11-8. As you've heard the buzzer going off in the previous point, we're going to play a game to 12. Whoever gets to 12 points first is going to win the game. At the moment, Tartu are going to receive, and they have 11 points. Ogre need to break Tartu's side 4 times for the win. That could be quite difficult for sure, as Tartu have been quite efficient during this game. Tartu now fielding the spool. They're still in their end zone now. A long shot, but too short for the receiver, but good enough for the defender. Gundaga Pastore comes down with the... Ooh, wow! Great grab there by Kalavanova. Milania Kalavanova. Good grab. A very difficult reception, but a nice scuba from Gulbe. From being trapped to the end zone to score to a break. They just need to do it another 3 times if they want to win it. Let's see if they will manage to do that. While Tartu only needs to hold once for a win. Veske gets the disc to Terra. Now finds Lasmane, who finds Nigol. And now, Kalavanova comes out with an interception. Now Mikulica has the disc. They have another break opportunity. Can they do it another 2 times? Very likely. Looks like they are defying all odds. Samiete with the disc to Kalavanova, who swings it to Mikulica. Samiete once again. Marked by much larger figure of Veske. Could be difficult to get this disc off, but she does to Mikulica. Throws it to Kalavanova, and Kalavanova, maybe an uncalled throw to Pastore. She was guarded way too close, and that disc was very difficult for her to receive. And unfortunately, that is a drop, and that is another opportunity for Tartu to win this game and close it off. Raba with the disc to Veske, back to Raba, who is signaling with her hand, and she doesn't like what she sees. She's telling some of her players of not cutting into the spaces where they were going. Now Veske on the doorstep. Terra was wide open, I think, in the end zone, but nobody's seen her there. Veske with the disc finds Lasmane, and Lasmane a hammer to Terra. That is a win for Tartu. Turbulence 12-9 is the result, the end result of this game. Very dynamic game, very exciting game, of course. It's very nice to watch that. And next game is